everybody, welcome back. In today's video, I'll be talking about 10 business analysis terminologies every business analyst should know. So these are mainly terminologies that I've come across throughout the span of my career, as well as in interviews. So the first word, project. What is a project? In business analysis, we are involved in projects, but what exactly is a project? A project is a piece of work that has a start and end date with specific deliverables. These deliverables are designed to achieve a defined objective. So a project really is any work or any piece of work that falls outside BAU, which is business as usual. It falls outside the day-to-day activities of the business. Number 2, stakeholders. Who are stakeholders? Stakeholders are individuals or a group of people who have interest in the change and are affected by the actions of the organization. They also take part in verifying deliverables, verifying your requirements. They are the people who business analysts interact with. So they include customers, employees, suppliers, contractors, owners, regulators, managers, anybody within and outside the business that has an impact on the project, which also the business analyst will interact with at various stages of the project. Number three, my favorite one and the top most important word that all business analysts should know is requirements. Requirements. We talk about requirements all the time. So what exactly is requirements? Requirements are features that the organizations need the new system to provide or do. Now there are two main types of requirements. Not what you're thinking. You're probably thinking functional and non-functional. No, there are two main types of requirements according to the BCS book, the Business Analysis book. So these two main types of requirements include the business requirements. The business requirements are divided into two types, which are the general requirements and the technical requirements. General requirements include things such as business constraints, policies, the culture of the business or culture of the organization. And the technical requirements include things such as the hardware requirements, the software requirements, etc., etc., etc. Now, the second type of requirement is the solution requirements. The solutions requirements then include the two requirements, which are the functional and the non-functional requirements. The functional requirements are really the features that the solution should have or should provide, the features of the system. They include data entry, data maintenance, processing, reporting, really what the system should do. Whereas the non-functional requirements are requirements that describe the level of performance offered by the solution in certain areas, such as they include things such as how quickly should the system respond, how easily would the solution be to use, and what level of security must be offered by the solution. If you haven't subscribed, what are you doing, guys? What are you doing? What else could you be doing than to hit the subscribe button? Is it on this side or is this side? Is the red one? Subscribe. Number 4, use case. Use case really just describes the interaction between an actor and the system. An actor meaning the user of the system and the system. What is that relationship? What is that interaction between both? And it describes the feature that the actor wants the system to offer. Now, with use case, there is also the use case diagram, use case description. use case diagram is just really a diagram with a square, which represents the system and the tasks. And then outside that box, you have the what do they call them? Stickmen, who represent the actors. For example, the various users of the system. Number 5, business case. Business case really is a document that describes the findings from a business analysis study. And it represents a recommended course of actions for senior stakeholders to consider. And it includes sections. This actually comes up in business analysis exams. It includes sections such as introduction, the summary, the description of the current situation, the options to consider, the analysis of cost and benefit, impact analysis, risk assessment, recommendation, and then finally it also includes the appendices, which provides detailed supporting information. Number 6, elicitation. Requirements elicitation. This is an approach to investigating requirements to resolve a business problem. So as a business analyst, you have to have this skill of being able to elicit, to draw out your requirements from your stakeholders, have those communication skills and various other business analysis techniques to be able to draw out those tacit knowledge, those various knowledge of stakeholders' use of a system or processes. So the business analyst will really work with the business and you're helping the stakeholders, you're helping them to visualize and articulate their requirements. There is also the requirements engineering, which is really a framework of elicitation, which includes a framework of elicitation, analysis, validation, documentation, and management of requirements. It's really the general engineering of your requirements, how you elicit, analyze, visualize, validate, document, and how those requirements are managed throughout the life cycle of a project. Number 7, prototype. A prototype really is a simulation of the requirements. So prototyping is a technique used to elicit, analyze, and validate your requirements. I think that prototypes also build trust with your end users, with your stakeholders. They can actually see what the system will look like before it's actually a real system, you know? So with prototyping, you're building a simulation to enable the users to visualize any proposed changes and helping them to understand the system requirements, increasing their understanding about that system, about those systems requirements. There is also wireframes, which at the start of my career, I was confused between the two. So wireframes are also visual representations. They are mainly like a sketch of the requirements of a project's layout design. It's really used to quickly communicate the basic aspects of the project or the solution. So my definition here is that it's a simple block diagrams that show placement of elements in a user interface and demonstrate the intended layout and functionality of the solution. So one way I've used wireframes and prototyping in requirements. In wireframes for a website, I created the wireframes by placing various blocks or squares of where certain features should be placed or represented on the website. Whereas the prototype then has the exact words, the pictures, the color schemes. So the prototype sort of represents what the real outcome of that system would look like. Whereas the wireframe is just a sketch of what it could look like, you know. Number 9, as is and to be. As is, current state; to be, future state. As is, what do we do currently? in business analysis, what you're analyzing is the as-is. What are your current processes? What are the various tasks involved within your current processes? What are the various system interactions or links? How does front end interact and connect with back end currently? What are the, and then business analysts are, through the as-is or current state, we are identifying the pain points, the issues with the as-is, and then from there we are creating the to-be, what the future state could look like or should look like, which is sort of the requirements, right? So there is also gap analysis, which falls between the as-is and to-be. Your gap analysis is comparing your as-is to your to-be. With gap analysis is where you're then identifying the pain points, the issues, so that you're better able to deliver that future state, which is in effect the requirement. Finally, number 10, deliverables. Number 10, deliverables. What are deliverables? So, I've been talking so fast. I need more water. So deliverables really are quantifiable items or products or services or a result. What is the result? What's the end result of your project? Yeah, so these are products, services, or results that must be provided upon the completion of a project. They include things such as the training, that could be your deliverable, the testing, your BRD is a deliverable, proposals, reports, various documents, your actual finished product. So they can be tangible or intangible. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope I've been able to help in some way. If you haven't subscribed, what are you doing, guys? What are you doing? What else could you be doing than to hit the subscribe button? Is it on this side or is this side? It's the red one. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Peace.